So we heard what Ross Chastain and AJ Allmendinger had to say about it, but what about innocent bystander Alex Bowman? What are his thoughts? Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? If I haven't earned your subscription, hopefully today is the day I will earn that subscription. All right, no matter what side you stand on with the AJ Allmendinger, Ross Chastain debate, was it dirty, was it clean, was it justified? That doesn't matter, because I think we can all come to the conclusion that Alex Bowman was definitely an innocent bystander in this event. So let's take a look at what he had to say about the incident. This article from John Newby. Bowman also faced numerous questions about the incident after finishing second overall in the number 48 Chevrolet. He explained to PRN that he is friends with Chastain and the driver of the number 1 is a pain in the butt to race with. He said jokingly. Bowman also provided some advice to Chastain while meeting with media members. He said that he has been on the other side of the situation, such as when he made contact with Denny Hamlin and sent the number 11 spinning during the elimination race at Martinsville. I've been on the other side of it, so I have to live with it. Talk about Martinsville, I had to live with that. The best advice I have for Ross is to put it on a t-shirt and sell the hell out of them. He, of course, is referring to the hat comments from Denny Hamlin and the lucking into another win from Kyle Busch. But the main thing is he holds no, bitter feelings toward it or whatever. He understood the deal. He knew it was just a racing incident, at least in his eyes. Of course, some people are just not going to see it that way. But I think most people agree that it was just a racing incident and that, AJ used his bumper first. And Alex Bowman seems to be in that same camp. He has no bitter feelings. And he said, hey, Ross, make some t-shirts and sell them, buddy. So I thought that was really cool that he took it in a good stride. And, so there you go. Of course, speaking of Denny Hamlin, he also had some thoughts on the matter as well. And here they were via Twitter, replying to Bob Apocris, who said, there will be chatter on whether that was a fair move by Ross Chastain to win the race. Justin Marks and Ross Chastain give their view. Denny Hamlin says, in 2017, it wasn't okay. In today's world, high stakes, do whatever it takes, playoffs on the line, blah, blah, blah. It's all fair game. The game has changed, and it's just expected now. Everyone runs over everyone. Doesn't matter if it's for first or 10th. Congratulations to Justin Marks and Ross. So, never one to not give his opinion on something. Denny Hamlin says he thinks in today's world, this is how people are racing. I completely actually disagree with this. I don't necessarily disagree with the sentiment that he was like, yeah, this is just how it is today. But I think people have always raced like that. I think he might have been lulled into a false sense of people didn't race like that. But I mean, you got the 3 right there. He did it in the 80s, 90s, early 70s, or late 70s. I mean, there have always been guys that drove like that. I don't know why people think this is all of a sudden this new thing. People getting aggressive, going for the win. To me, I've watched NASCAR just about my entire life. I always remembered at the end of the race, if somebody was close enough, they were going to move you out of the way. That was 100% how Bristol's lure was built. So I think he's way off mark with this. And I'm going to make, there's another episode coming on later where he has 2 more Twitter opinions that I'm going to break down. So yeah. Now that I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitter, by the way. Now that I'm on Twitter, there's apparently Denny Hamlin has a lot to say on Twitter. I didn't know, so I could literally make a channel just about what Denny Hamlin says on Twitter, but I'm not going to do that. But I do have another episode coming up about that. But I think he's totally wrong on that. I think people have always raced aggressively for the race. I don't think the playoffs or anything like that has to do with it. I think these guys now just want to race because some of these guys are racing for their career. So it's not just that. It's just that, like, this is actually more like the 80s to me because people are racing for their career. Like, if you don't win in this sport, I just talked about it last week with Joe Gibbs. If you don't win in this sport, you will get replaced. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how much potential you have. If you don't win and the sponsor wants you gone because the sponsors are footing the bill, then you are gone. So I think that has more to do with it than the playoffs or anything else. But let me know down in the comments what you think about it. On one of the episodes last week, I talked about how NASCAR was not doing as much stuff as they used to do at the tracks. Well, COTA is not one of those tracks. COTA is stepping up. They are going to build a entertainment facility. It will have 30 rides. It'll be right next to the COTA racetrack. So fans, when they come there, will have all kinds of stuff to do. It will be a carnival atmosphere. So that will be really cool to see going forward in COTA. And in fact, if you watched Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and you saw the atmosphere that they had at COTA, COTA did an absolutely phenomenal job. So of all those tracks that I was talking about last week that were not taking care of the fans, leave COTA off that list, because COTA definitely put on an event and they took care of their fans. It looks like everybody there had a great time. In fact, there were people being shot out of cannons and stuff like that. So it was really, really cool that COTA took care of the fans like that. So good on you, COTA. And some of these other tracks need to take a look at what they're doing and step their game up. All right, that is all I've got for this one. I have another video coming up after this, and this might be a 3-video day. I'm not sure. But yeah, so if you got a comment, leave it down in the comment section. If you like the content, feel free to subscribe down below. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.